So I want us to review the GBPJPY outlook that we did yesterday. So this is what we did, and we want to see price tag this gap before we have a bullish move. So now I want to show you something, guys. So right now this is what we have. So we made a high, we're anticipating a retracement. There's a high probability. First of all, we want to see price get to this gap here, and also we have this daily order block here. So this is what we want to see before we get a bullish continuation for GBP JPY. So now, anytime you have such kind of price action, so this is what normally happens in the week. So this is what we have. So we've made a higher high, expecting a retracement before we continue with the bullish move. Okay. So now, this is our PDRA, our high time frame PDRA that we want to see price tag before we get continuation. So two things normally happen. So first of all, if this is a higher time frame, this retracement on a higher time frame, if you move to a lower time frame, this is what it looks like. We made a lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. It's a whole structure. That's what you get. And yeah. So as retracing to this higher time frame PDRA, there's a week where we will tag this and then we just get bullish move and we end up closing the week as a bullish candle. So this is what you can get. So you get that. And of course, when you're anticipating that you're going to have this bullish move, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to take 1 week. Or in these bullish moves might be 2-3 weeks of bullish moves for us to finally go make a higher high, right? So you can have such a scenario. This can be scenario A, where we target the same week and we close the week as a bullish candle. So that's scenario one. Then you also have a situation where price tags this PDRA, but we use a full week to do that to get to this higher time frame PDRA. So in such a case, you end up having a bearish week. So this is what you end up having. Okay, so you end up having a bearish week. So we spend a full week to finally get to this higher time frame PDRA before finally we get continuation, bullish continuation. And then of course, this higher time frame PDRA is our last line of defense. We don't want to see price violate it. So in this case, this is what we have. Okay. So now, if you look at the daily time frame, let me remove that. We have this inversion fair value gap right here. And now, this is what we expected. We want to see price retrace. We tag this before we get a bullish move. So this is how this price can play out. We tag this inversion fair value gap. As you can see, this is Monday candle. So we tag this inversion fair value gap. Then we get bearish move the whole week. So we target, so Monday ends up forming the high of the week. Then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we get bearish move and we close the week on Friday, of course. So we end up closing the week as a bearish week. Of course, if you understand weekly profile, you'll understand what I'm talking about. Now, so that is scenario A. Another scenario that can play out of this inversion fair value gap we still have here, where we can violate this. So if we violate this daily inversion fair value gap, then there's a high probability that this market is no longer going to retrace all the way to this gap here. So we're likely to get that. Then we use this inversion fair value gap to push price higher. So that's scenario two. Another scenario, and such scenario is when we have very high impact news. So you end up having an explosive week. We can have a scenario where Monday, Tuesday, we finally tag our high time frame PDRA on Tuesday or Wednesday. Then we end up having a reversal on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So we end up having a midweek reversal weekly profile. So, guys, if you understand weekly profile, it can be so easy for you to see the setups that I'm talking about. So, yeah, so that is all a possibility. But as of now, high probability for me is price using this inversion fair value gap. We tag this to push price lower and we end up having a bearish week. So Monday ends up forming the high of the week, or Tuesday, or even Wednesday. But the point is, we might spend a full week to get this bearish move, so we end up having a bearish move, or we invert this inversion fair value gap, and now we get a bullish move. In this case, we use it now to push price higher. So those are the two scenarios I see, or when I gave you guys this. So this was more general, so I didn't use daily PTRAs, and that is why I am updating the weekly outlook for GBPJPY.